Now, quite conveniently, just as So as we thought might be the case on this channel some months ago, Thais are now starting to see increases in their electricity prices. A number of examples of angry Thais are popping up saying that their bills have doubled for no particular reason. But some of these people comment that they have not added any appliances, they're not using their aircon any different. Of course, some people expect that there is a price rise at this time of year because it's hotter. If you're using an air conditioner, that air conditioner has to work harder. That is to be expected. But some of the rises are very dramatic, and there's been a lot of complaints about that online. Even Thais with basic usage like fans, basic appliances, doing what they've always done, that shouldn't see any difference due to the season, are seeing price increases from 200 to 500 baht a month in their electricity. It's not going unnoticed by people, and the reason that it is happening is quite obvious because of the energy situation around the world, which we're not going to go into today because just about every other YouTube video online right now is going into the reasons for that. I'm sure most of my subscribers already know and understand. So what's actually happening here in Thailand is the electricity tariffs are going up. For the May to August period in 2026, the average rate is 3.95 baht per kilowatt hour. This is slightly up from the 3.88 baht. More importantly though, from June 2026, there will be a tiered system introduced. Households under 200 units per month will pay a lower rate, while those using over 400 units will pay more than 5 baht per unit. This means that heavy users are going to feel the increase more than those that use less. It means that if you are going to be running your aircon here in Thailand, you're going to be paying more. And this may just be the start of it. These tiers can change every few months, and depending on the energy situation around the world will depend on how high these prices and tariffs actually go. Now, as subscribers know, we made the transition to solar some months ago. This was in anticipation of energy prices increasing, but also we were noticing a higher number of power cuts here, and when the power cuts, the family can't have a nice shower, you know, your air cons turn off, it's like you can't work, and it just was not practical for us. So there were a number of reasons why we decided to go for the solar. Also, not having a monthly bill if you get disabled in some way or as you get older can help offset monthly costs and can be protective. Like if something happened to me, for example, the kids and my wife would not have any rent here to pay, and they would not have any bill to pay, electricity bill to pay. So for me, it seemed like a good idea, but it's not until now I've been able to see what the financial impact may or may not turn out to be. Of course, a lot of this depends on how long the equipment will last. My batteries, for example, are the LV Topsun 16 kilowatt, which are rated for 8,000 cycles, which can be 20 to 22 years. Where we can't find out yet in real life how that's going to turn out. We have to wait for the time, and in many ways we have to trust that the technology is going to last. Our panels on the roof have 25 to 30 year lifespans, and perhaps our Lux Power 14 kilowatt inverter may get 10 to 15 years if we're lucky. So whether the project is cost effective or not is really to be seen on the life of the equipment. But for the purpose of this vlog, I will assume some conservative estimates of the equipment longevity. So as well as the capital expense of the system, I'm also going to be taking into consideration these rising tariffs here in Thailand. That's now an important consideration. Of course, all of this could go back to normal, or it could be a longer drawn out move we're going to see. But so far, going to solar has been a positive move. Now I'd like to break down for you what our usage is here on the farm, what we're actually running, and how much our bill has gone down. We do still have a bill, and there is a reason for that, which I'm going to share with you. And then if we project that out, so far, has this been a cost-effective decision? So at the moment, bearing in mind that it is the hot season and we're not getting massive amounts of cloud cover, we're actually generating over 40 kilowatt hours per day, and we're hitting a peak of around 12 kilowatts from the panels. The maximum that you can get from the panels is around 15 kilowatts. So that tells me that the panels are quite well placed. And the slight mismatch is probably more to do with cloud cover and daytime shifts. Now, we're usually only pulling 1 to 3 kilowatts for the household load, which means there is a big gap between what we're producing and what we're actually using. Just to break this down for you, because I know a lot of people ask about this, What are we running at the moment on the solar? Well, I can tell you we're doing 3 large fridges. So we're running 3 air conditioners. One of those air conditioners is a small 9,000 BTU, which is inside the solar room, keeping the equipment and pantry cool. We also have a 12,000 BTU that runs in my room and a 12,000 BTU that runs in the cottage. We're also running the hot showers, hot plates, fans, lights, and all of your TVs and your usual appliances. But the peak consumption is surprisingly low from what we can actually generate from this system. Now, the reason that our energy production is higher than our usage and consumption is because I bought an oversized system. At the moment, we're in a testing phase. We wanted to see how much our usage would be here on the farm without connecting my mother-in-law and the other houses within the wider area that are our family too, our wider family. And so far, so good. We're not using the full production capacity of the solar. Now, previously, our average bill was around 5,000 baht. This is now dropped to 2,000 baht. This means that my mother-in-law on that side, which they also have an air conditioner running and some other appliances, are using around 2,000 baht per month. Now, that bill does usually go up in the hot season as well, and now with tariffs going up a little bit, we are also seeing a difference in their bill. It's gone up to 3,000 baht. So there's a lot of variables going on, but the important thing to know is that all of our energy needs are supplied. We run on the batteries throughout the night, and they rarely go below 50% usage, which is quite healthy for the lithium-ion batteries also. And they are recharged by very early in the day, and we're now producing a surplus. These early indicators suggest that I can now connect my mother-in-law to the system, and it would be no problem. But the one thing we are waiting for is the peak of the rainy season, where cloud cover is quite heavy, and how that might impact recharging the batteries. It's fair to say, I think, that the system can comfortably cover everybody and reduce my monthly bill from 5,000 baht to 0. So now that we have much more real-world data on our solar setup, we can do some fag packet math to estimate the profitability of the system. If we save the 5,000 baht per month, that is 60,000 baht per year. That is 900,000 baht over the course of 15 years. So we're estimating that the equipment will last 15 years. Bearing in mind, as I mentioned earlier, the panels will easily last 25 to 30 years. The inverter is good for 10 to 15, and the batteries could go up to 20 years, not just 15. This would mean we would actually double our initial cost. The solar system that we installed is 420,000 baht. If we can save around 900,000 in the next 15 years, you can see that the system setup is actually profitable. Now, quite conveniently, just as I shoot this vlog, we've got a storm. Don't know if you caught that. Oh, you say what's happening now? Whoa, Biggs.
So scared.
So what's happening?
It's power cut. So we're connecting line from here to Yai. So now they can use fan and then the power for cooking.
We've run an extension cord.
Yes.
But the power is cut over there now, and all over the village the power is cut.
Yes.
So this is an example of, we're now running on the battery. The system, it sounds like lightning hit a electricity pole. That's gone down.
Yes.
We had a very short, maybe 1 second like downtime, and then the inverter kicked in and we're now running from the battery. So all of our lights are still on, all the air cons are still running, but over there,
Yeah.
no power.
No power.
So this is one of those advantages of having solar in this situation. So there in my breakdown, I gave the best possible outcome, I guess, estimating 15 years. Worst possible outcome is equipment only lasts 10 years. And in that case, even then, you would still have a small amount of profit. It's times like this where the storms are raging, or for some reason the power outs for the whole day and people can't shower and whatnot. That is so it's a bit odd holding this camera. That is why the system comes in quite useful. You really know the start of the rainy season is coming now because these storms are quite intense. After the long hot season, it gets really quite insane. Now, another thing to consider with solar is, are the panels going to be okay on the roof? Have they been built correctly? And Are they going to be strong enough to be not blown off and not cause damage to the roof? I guess we're going to find out in the large storms that are about to hit us. One good thing about these storms is that they clean the panels. I found that for the ones on the cottage, I have to clean them manually, maybe once every 2 months to hose them down because it's very dusty around here in rural Thailand. But for the ones on the roof, a little bit more difficult to access. This storm will then clean those if it doesn't rip them off. Every cloud has a silver lining, so to speak. So I hope you find it quite interesting on the vlog today. We've updated now on the solar and the situation with electricity here in Thailand. This is the point in time where we get in the house